What they desire is just out of their grasp. When a man shows he's ready to leave, she starts running after him. The second a woman sees that you can thrive apart from her approval, her view of you will change. No longer are you merely another male vying for her affections. Embrace the struggle that is you. You transform into the enigma she longs to unravel. Not many males do this. Worried about losing women, they cling to them. They respond to texts in a flash. Everything is agreed upon by them. She is the center of their universe, and by doing so, they devalue themselves. However, what about the guy who decides to leave? In her brain, he triggers an emotional response. Out of nowhere, the thought crosses her mind. He isn't chasing me? For what reason does he appear unconcerned? Had I been unfair to him? And the situation is turned upside down in an instant. Her control has been revoked. There you go. You don't need a woman to feel attractive. Not relying on her is the key. It's about demonstrating by your behavior that you're totally okay regardless of her decision to stay or not. You have no qualms about departing. Her mood swings have no effect on you. You don't seem to be in a rush to win her approval. If a lady detects that, she will be irresistibly drawn to you. This explains why careless males attract women who become obsessed with them. Those guys that don't reply to texts right away. Gentlemen who don't put forth extra effort. It's not that these men are horrible people. This is due to their reluctance to make her their primary focus. They are well aware that they are the reward. Also, you won't pursue after a woman ever again after you realize this and absorb it. She will never respect you unless she is scared of losing you, since that is the truth. Your magnetic charm kicks in the second she fears she may lose you. 3. The one who can subtly whisper impure things without uttering a word. Some men have the unique ability to influence a woman's physical response even before they touch her. A guy who, without ever saying anything blatantly obscene, can make her pulse race, her respiration alter, and her entire mood change. The key: sexual conflict, unlike the coerced variety. Not the kind when the male spoils the atmosphere by casually bringing up a sexual topic. I'm referring to the gradual escalation, the kind of suspense that creeps up on her without her noticing until it's almost too late. It's that subtle, effortless kind. Moreover, those guys who get the hang of it never have to go on a pursuit. Because when a woman has this kind of anxiety, she will turn around and pursue you. To most men, talking filthy is the key to getting a woman to open up. However, the secret is to conjure up the emotion long before you speak a word. Holding eye contact for an excessive amount of time accomplishes that. Show her that you're keeping an eye on her. Show her that you're not rushing, that the power is with you, speaking more softly. She responds differently to a low, controlled voice. This makes her lean in closer. As a result, she starts to pay attention. Resting before you utter a word. Perception is power. Pause just right before asking, "What am I going to do with you?" And her whole body will respond. Dropping a gentle touch against her. When the two of you touch arms. As soon as your fingertips linger just a little too long. Whenever you lead her gently. That's powerful. Because this is the reality. Nobody wants to hear every little detail from a woman. A man who is very impulsive with his wants is not desirable to them. Then the riddle is solved. Thus, it is inexpensive. Feeling it before hearing it is important to them. Slow buildup is what they're after. The suspense is what they desire. She will desire it more when you prolong her anticipation. It all boils down to one thing: the ability to get a woman on with ease, as opposed to a man who overtries. Control. The victor is the one who can manage his speed. The winner is the one who controls his impulses just enough. Whoever makes her wonder if he's mocking her or actually planning to kiss her wins. The moment a woman begins to wonder, her cravings begin. As soon as she starts yearning, she's yours. Exactly 4. Anyone can have her whenever they want if he can make her feel like a woman. Most men miss out on a secret truth about attraction. When you grasp this profound fact, women will begin to view you in a new light, jealous of you. I long to be in your company, experiencing an unease that words fail to capture. This, then, is the reality. Anytime a man wants a woman, he can have her if he knows how to make her feel deeply, seductively, feminine. The appearance is irrelevant. Money isn't the issue. It's all about the impression you leave on her when she's around you. You can never get a woman to stop thinking about herself. Thinking too much. Strategic preparation. Concerned about the impression they provide. She pauses all rational thought the moment she's in the company of a man who can make her feel incredibly desired. Things begin to affect her emotionally. She loses herself entirely in the experience. What happens next is completely out of your control once a woman senses that attraction. To impress women, most guys go to extreme lengths. They mistakenly believe that seeming flawless, saying the correct thing, or demonstrating one's value are the keys to attractiveness. But women's dream guys, the ones who utterly subdue them, know that allure isn't about exerting oneself. Being present is key. No amount of talking will arouse a man with strong sexual presence. He should remain calm. No performance is required of him. Just by being there, he can make her remember that she is a lady. Additionally, it entails maintaining slightly longer than required eye contact, allowing the weight of your stare to settle on her. Your gaze alone can make her pulse race, confidently speaking at a leisurely pace. Calmness under control. Keep it simple. Your voice exudes an air of controlled command, acquiring control over your environment. An aura of subtle, alluring authority emanates from a man who moves with assurance, who commands attention and makes himself at home in any setting. With purposeful touching. Gently place a hand on her lower back as you lead her through a doorway. As you sip from her hand, your fingers lightly touch hers, elevated in a subtle way. A woman's head can swirl with thoughts she would never utter aloud when they are so small, so subtle, but so irrefutable. Unfiltered reality? An overwhelming majority of guys have the ability to dull a woman's emotional response. Their lack of natural inclination prevents them from expressing their attraction in a way that triggers an immediate physical response before her conscious mind can process it. However, her ideal partner is a man who can access her primal feminine essence and give her a sense of desire, security, and total release all at once. She's smitten with that dude. She's at his fingertips whenever he wants her, and he'll never have to chase her. Women will desire to be in your presence once you have mastered this energy. All they want is to be eaten by you. The Stoic guide is this: maintain self-control, strength, and discipline till we meet again. For whatever reason, most men just can't face the ugly reality of desire. The key to being irresistible isn't in appearance, status, or memorizing pickup lines. Instead, they spend years chasing women and never realize it. Imagine for a second if I told you that there's something far more fundamental than your good looks, money, or charisma that makes 95.7% of women naturally gravitate toward you. This reality isn't pretty, quite challenging. There is no way to pretend it doesn't exist. However, something remarkable will become apparent if you comprehend it and adhere to it. Attractive women will begin to seek you out. They will actively seek you out. Something about you will attract them that they can't put their finger on. This isn't meant to make a good impression on ladies. The key is to channel the energy that makes you irresistible to others. In this video, we'll reveal the harsh reality that 95.7% of women find you attractive, and why the majority of guys will never understand its profound impact. The first step is to get going. 1. A man's ability to tease her can unleash her wildest desires. Those males who are most alluring know a secret. Women would rather not have their way all the time. A man who is overly emotional, who tells her how he really feels, and who is too easygoing is not what they're looking for. Conflict is what they seek. The hype is what they're after. Chases are what they're after. A man who is skilled at teasing women is the most alluring man in the world. One who teases with the right amount of subtlety to pique her interest. An amusingly challenging man who manages to make her giggle. A guy who expresses his desires, but never in a frantic manner. Why? Because mastering the art of teasing a woman just so causes her to react physically before her consciousness registers a thing. Joking about with her isn't limited to amusing her. Making an emotional roller coaster is the goal. One where she's never quite sure what's coming next. The same hormone that drives addiction, dopamine, is released in response to this unpredictability. This is why women are powerless against guys who play the tug of war. At one point, you're gushing over her, and then you jokingly retort. You show her that you're interested in her, but you don't commit completely just yet. Test her mettle. You put more effort into her affirmation instead of just handing it to her. Oh, so you feel that way about yourself? Oh, I have no idea. I may require additional persuasion. Go ahead and have her chase after it. You avoid being completely accessible and instead maintain an appropriate level of distance, leaving her to wonder if he likes her. Is he serious or is he joking? What drives her obsession, though, is that sense of unpredictability. The most effective teasing is done in layers. What you say is important, but that's not all. Pronunciation, timing, and follow-up are crucial. In writing. You know what? I was about to give you my full attention until you did that hair thing. So now I'm confused. By physical contact. You smirk and briefly withhold your hand when she reaches out to touch you, but then you give it to her. In terms of timing. Build up the tension by pretending to kiss her. Then just relax and pretend it's not time just yet. When you master this, she will be captivated by your every action. You drive her to the brink of desperation until you cave in, because tease makes people nervous. Also, sexual attraction is a closely guarded secret that involves tension. Even more males don't. 1. Put in excessive effort to win her over. They hope she'll like all the attention, presents, and accolades they're throwing her way. She refuses. 2. Be cautious. They bore her to death because they are too chicken to say something brave. On the other hand, there's this guy who never lets her down, who makes her laugh, and who makes her want more. She can't stop thinking about that man. Why? Because when you playfully taunt her, she feels more than simply an attraction. You've hooked her. 2. Whoever can quit has the upper hand. The majority of men fail to grasp one indisputable aspect of attraction. The one with all the power is the one who is willing to walk away. Let that sink in. Why is something worth having? Could that be the one thing that's never out of stock? Anxietyist all the time to be picked? Never stops seeking, pleading, or attempting to establish its worth? Is it the stable part, though? That which must be acquired? The goal that everyone should strive to achieve? Rareness creates worth. Everything in life, including romantic relationships, is subject to this. Pursuing what one values is hardwired into a woman's DNA. Somewhere deep within their instincts is a psychological trigger. The simple things don't appeal to them.